This is the Harry Loomis Show. Welcome back to the Harry Loomis Show. Today's December 14th. It's 12:54 in the afternoon here in Columbus, Ohio. I wasn't expecting to do a video talking about the Blues today, but Doug Armstrong has some big plans in the work. We have a trade to announce. The St. Louis Blues have acquired defenseman Cam Fowler from the Anaheim Ducks along with a fourth-round pick. Fowler is Anaheim is retaining 38% of Fowler's salary, I believe, and the Ducks are receiving a second-round pick in 2027. And prospect Jeremy Biakabatuka, I hope I'm saying that right, is also going back to the Ducks. So this trade is surprising, and it's not surprising in a way. Fowler and the Blues have been linked together for a while now, pretty much the whole season, ever since Nick Leddy went down with his injury. Torrey Krug also especially missing the entire season. So from early on in the year, these two made sense as a potential partnership, and now it's coming to fruition. Fowler is a 33-year-old defenseman, drafted 12th overall in 2010 to the Ducks. He has played all 991 of his games in Anaheim, 96 career goals, 361 assists, 457 points as a puck-moving defenseman. So this obviously, it does make sense, and it kind of follows along with what Doug Armstrong has been saying ever since the Blues got Jim Montgomery. He said, the coach isn't a question now. He has a guy that he 100% believes in, so all of his moves going forward are going to be in terms of what the roster needs to be improved. Armstrong still believes that this is a playoff team, even though the Blues are right at 500 right now, are not in a playoff spot. The West is a really hard conference to jump into right now. The good teams are very good, but Fowler does objectively help this top four. The potential pairings, there's no telling if Fowler is going to be in St. Louis tonight for the game the Blues play at 8 o'clock Eastern. Fowler's actually here in Columbus. The Ducks are playing the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight at Nationwide Arena. Obviously, he's on the way to St. Louis, or he's on the way to Dallas, where the Blues are tonight. If he doesn't make it tonight, he'll more than likely be able to play tomorrow when the Blues host the Rangers at Enterprise Center. But what are the Blues giving up in Biakabatuka? He is a 22-year-old right shot defenseman, 6'4", 203 pounds, pretty big size. He was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Blues in 2023, has played 13 games for the Florida Everblades in the ECHL this year, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. So what does this look like for the Blues? Honestly, before all the trade got announced, I thought it was going to be Cap going one way, Cap going the other way. I thought Brandon Saad is a guy that has been linked to a lot of trades or has been linked to potentially not coming back next year. Maybe this is when he goes. Dylan Holloway moves into a top 6 spot. Maybe that's the chance to bring in a guy like Dalibor Dvorsky from the AHL. I also thought Scott Perunovich, who's been playing really well this year, but just finds himself on the outside looking on the roster. This could be a chance for him to go to, no disrespect, a bad team in Anaheim, get some top 4 minutes, really continue to establish confidence. But that's not what happened. Some people don't like this move for the Blues. I've been seeing a lot of people saying it's an overpay. The joke about Doug Armstrong loving his veteran left-handed shot defenseman, which I do think right shot defenseman is a bigger need for the Blues than left shot. And Fowler is 33 years old. You already have Nick Leddy. You brought in Ryan Suter this year. It does seem like kind of a formula that Doug Armstrong likes. Fowler's making $6.5 million until the end of next year, but with that salary being retained, you're paying him more around $4 million, which $4 million for 2 years of Cam Fowler is, in my opinion, worth a second-round pick, especially when you're giving up a fourth-round pick, or when you're getting back a fourth-round pick in the process. So where the Blues are at, I think a lot of people are assuming that Nick Leddy, who it looked like was on track to return pretty soon but had a setback, it sounds like he won't be back for a while now. This is the obvious Leddy replacement in that regard. Matthew Kessel has been sent down to Springfield as well as a corresponding move. So I'm expecting the pairings to look like Cam Fowler will be on the left side of Colton Parayko. That leaves Philip Broberg with Justin Falk, which right there, I like that top 4 a lot. I think the left shot defenseman, I'll get to that in a second. Third pair is going to be a mix of Ryan Suter's probably going to be in there on the right side. It's going to be either P.O. Joseph or Scott Perunovich. I've been more impressed with Perunovich than P.O. Joseph this year. I'm curious to see what happens. The Blues are coming off a loss I wonder how the lineup switches, whether or not Fowler's going to be in the lineup tonight or not. But left shot defenseman is something that the Blues have struggled to really capitalize on since Jay Bouwmeester's career ended in 2020. Back then, you had a really solid left side of Bouwmeester, Vince Dunn, and Carl Gunnarsson, but that was after you even traded Joel Edmondson, who was a really good third pairing guy. I'm probably forgetting somebody as well. But once Bouwmeester went down, they traded for Scandella. That was an overpay of sorts. He was okay for a little bit. Contract wasn't great. Struggled at the end of it. Then you bring in Torrey Krug to replace Alex Pietrangelo. Offensive defenseman leads to you getting rid of Vince Dunn. Then you bring in Nick Leddy, who had a great second half with the Blues after the deadline 22. Has struggled a little bit since then. It's a lot of guys that you've tried to become forced into being Jay Bouwmeester that, no disrespect to any of them, just do not play Bouwmeester's game. I think you have something in Broberg, and I think giving him another veteran like Fowler with a guy like Ryan Suter on that team, I don't think you need offense from your defenseman right now. And Fowler is a decent offensive producer. He's not having a great year this year offensively, only 4 assists in 17 games, no goals. But he's topped out at over 40 points 3 times, 40 points as a rookie in 2010-11, 42 in 21-22, and 48 a career high just a couple years ago in 22-23 on some very bad Duck teams. And that's the other thing. You're going to look at Fowler's stats on Hockey Reference. You're going to see a minus 23 in 22-23, a minus 36 last year, which doesn't look good at all, a minus 7 in 24-25. But first off, plus minus isn't a great stat. Everyone's kind of realizing that now. Secondly, when a team like Anaheim has struggled for so long, you almost don't know how to take into account a player's stats. That's why I think John Gibson is one of the most interesting goalies on the trade market now for the last about 3 years or so, because he was a top 10 goalie in the league back in about 2018-19, and then his numbers have just gotten a lot worse since then. But there's always the belief that maybe if he goes to a better situation than Anaheim, he could be able to turn around. He's been linked to Colorado. He's been linked to Toronto. Maybe with a good team like that, he could get back to that form. It's just the dichotomy there. It's hard to know what to expect. But at the end of the day, Cam Fowler is a St. Louis Blue. I am excited to see how it works out. I think that this is a move. I credit Doug Armstrong and Alex Steen for this once again. They are trying something. They believe that they have a playoff team on their hands, and they're going to do everything they can to try to make sure that that team gets to where they want them to go. So what are your thoughts on this trade? Do you like it for the Blues? Do you not like it for the Blues? What do you expect the long-term implications of this trade to be? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. My name's Harry Loomis. Thank you for watching the Harry Loomis Show. We'll talk again soon. This is the Harry Loomis Show.